Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskrityam Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudirayet. Nashtapayeshu Rudreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevya Bhagavati Uttama Shruti Bhaktir Bhavati Nishtiti Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya Cha Nanda Gopakumaraya Govindaya Namo Namaha. Namo Nalinanetraya Venubhadya Vinadine Radha Sudapana Shaline Manomohine Mahabhava Swarupastam Krishna Priya Variyasi Prema Bhakti Pradevi Shri Radhika Namostute. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. So we'll continue our discussion from prayers offered by Vaishnavas, and there are like 10 categories. So we have discussed about 7. So today we are going to discuss the 8th. This 8th type of a prayer, which is called as a Sadhaka Dehera Lalasa Suchika, means prayers revealing desire to execute regulated devotional service in the body of a practicing Vaishnava or practicing devotee. So what it means exactly? Sadhaka Deha Lalasa Suchika. Sadhaka Deha means having a body of a devotee who is practicing devotional service. Generally, as we have seen in Bhagavad Gita, Lord says that there are 4 kinds of people. They come to take shelter of the Lord, or whom he called as a Sukritinas, like Arti, Arthati, Jidnyasu, and Jnani. And Lord says among them, who is dear to him is Jnani, because he is in a knowledge that, as Lord says in Bhagavad Gita, Aham sarvasya prabhamatta sarva pravartate iti matva bhajantemam buddha bhava samvamutta. He is intelligent who accepts that Krishna is everything. He is supreme and he is the master of everyone. After accepting that, as Krishna says, he is the most intelligent person, Buddha Bhava Samvamutta. He is the one who has a real intelligence. And that intelligent person, then what he does? As Lord explains in the 10th chapter, text number 9, Machita Madhagata Prana, Bodhayandi Paraspara. So he explains about the characteristics of his devotees. Who are they? Machita. Machita means the person who does not have anything else in his mind other than service to Krishna and thinking about Krishna. And the next one is like Madhagata Prana. As Lord said, like Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur in his commentary says that every living entity is like Annagata Prana, means they sustain on food. So devotees, they sustain only on the Lord and His remembrance. That is Machyata Madgata Prana. So the person who is a Madgata Prana, so what he desires for? He desires to practice devotional service. And that devotional service is that he aspires for, and that Bhaktivinoda Thakur explains in one of his songs, which is called as a Shuddha Bhagata Charana. It is one of the most wonderful songs which really explain us about the aspiration of sadhaka, the practitioner. Especially in a Gaudiya Sampradaya, if someone joins and he wants to practice the process that has been given by Gaudiya Acharyas, then what is that process and what he should aspire for? That has explained in this song, which is there in the Sharanagati, one of the book written by Bhaktivinoda Thakur. There he says, Shuddha Bhakata Charana Reno Bhajana Bhakata Seva Parama Siddhi Premalati Karamura. He says that what is most favorable thing for devotional life or the practitioner to practice devotional service is the dust of lotus feet of Vaishnava. Bhakata Charanarenu, which is favorable bhajana to perform your devotional service. Generally people think bhajana means singing in front of the Lord. Bhaja, the Sanskrit word, the root is bhaja, bhajati, or that means render service. So the root of performing devotional service is nothing but the dust of the lotus feet of devotees. Bhakata seva parama siddhi premalati karam. That is the greatest perfection of life, to serve the devotees. As in Adi Puran, Lord He Himself explains to Arjuna, if someone claims that he is my devotee, he says he is not my devotee. My devotee, but someone claims that he is the devotee of my devotee, then he is real devotee of mine. And that's why we see in Mukundamala Stotra, which is written by Maharaj Kulashekar, is one of the Alvaras from South India, and he is mostly considered for his love to their lordship in Madhurya Rasa. So there he says, Mad Janmani Balamida Madhukaita Bavari, Mad Prarthaniya Anugraha Esha Yeva, Tvada Bhritya Bhritya Parijaraka Bhritya Bhritya Bhrityasya Bhritya Smaramam Iti Lokanath. He says that Mad Janmani Phalamidam Madhukaita Bavari. Oh, killer of Madhu and Kaitava, if you really want to satisfy me or give me the real achievement of my life or real goal, then consider me as servant of your servant. He says 7 times. Bhritya, Bhritya, Paricharaka, Bhritya, Bhritya, Bhrityasya Bhritya. Oh my Lord, consider me as the servant of your servant, servant of your servant. Das, Dasana, Dasa. And that's what Mahaprabhu also says. The real perfection of a life to known as the servant of Lord's devotees. Because that is the root cause of Prema Latika, the creeper of loving devotional service. Then further he says, what are the other things that one should practice to cultivate his own devotional service? First thing is that take a dust of lotus feet of Vaishnavas. Don't pretend. Generally people, they think, they go and just try to touch others' lotus feet. Rather than that, render service to them. That's the greatest thing. And that's why further he says that Bhakata Seva, taking dust of the lotus feet means rendering service to them. And that's the cause of love of God. And then further he said, what next you need to follow? He says that Madhavati thi bhakati janani jatane palana kori Krishna vasati vasati boli parama adari boli. So that someone who really wants to practice a devotional service, then what he does? Madhavatiti bhakti janani. He says that he follows Madhavatiti. So what is this Madhavatiti means? Madhavatiti means day that belongs to their Lordship. The day when we celebrate the great festivals for their Lordship. So what are those? The mostly known as a Madhavatiti is Ekadashi. Ekadashi, we fast. And what do? We eat khichdi. Nice sabudana khichdi, sabudana vada. Fasting dosa. That's not the way of observing Ekadashi. Observing Ekadashi means chanting more rounds of your japa, reading more. Rather than concentrating on the food, concentrate on the Lord, His pastimes, His holy name, associate with devotees, visit temple, take darshan of their Lordship. So that's what observing Ekadashi. Then what are others Madhavatitis? Like appearance day of their Lordship. Janmashtami, Ram Nomi, Varaha Dvadashi, Vaman Dvadashi, Radhashtami, Balaram appearance day. So all these are called as a Madhavatiti. And what they are? Bhakati Janani. Janani means mother, mother of devotion. They create devotion in our heart for their Lordship. If you follow this particular days, you follow Vrata on that day, fast on that day, read, associate with devotee, then what happens? Devotion for their Lordship that germinates in your heart. And that's why he said, Jatane Palana Kori, means you should try hard to follow them, Yatana. Yatana means you put your endeavor and try to follow them. And stay there where the Lord resides. Vasati tada priti stale. One should stay at the place where Lord loves to perform His pastime. That's like a Vrindavan, Mathura, Ayodhya, Dwarika. So those are the places where Lord has performed His wonderful pastimes. And that helps us, that helps us to remember the Lordship. It's very spontaneous to remember the Lordship in Vrindavan or wherever He has performed pastimes, because you get that vibrations of His pastimes. That's why he says, Vasati Kori. Choose dwelling place where the Lord has performed His pastimes, and offer your awe and reverence for that, because it is not different from their Lordship. Then the further he says, where I would like to visit, because everyone love to tour, That's why they go from this end of the world to the other end. But the devotee who is practicing devotional service, what he desires for? Yeah, but in what way? Yes. But if you want to tour, how you will serve Krishna?
That's not for devotees.
Devotee is there, Baba. He does Tirtha Yatra. Rather than going for sightseeing, he goes to see their Lordship and the sites where Lord has performed his pastime. And that's why he says, Bhaktivinoda Thakur says, Gaura Amara Jesavasthane Brahmilo Karilo Brahmana Range Sevasthane Heri Boami Pranay Bhagat Sange. Gaura Amara Jesavasthana. Lord Gauranga, when he performed his worldly pastimes, when he came to this material world and performed his pastime, 6 years he traveled to South India. 6 years he traveled to Mathura, Vrindavan. So whichever places he had visited that time, I would like to go and visit those same places where Lord has performed pastimes and where Lord he himself, being a devotee, he himself went there and visited all the holy places. Karalo Brahmana Range, with love and joy, Lord traveled, toured all these places. So he says, Sesavasthana Heribo Ami Pranaya Bhakata Sangha. He says that I would like to go there, but not alone. Pranayi Bhakata Sangha, with the devotee whose heart is inundated with the love of God. Not with any Tom, Dick, Harry, or not with the tour guide. But he says that Pranayi Bhakata Sangha. See, English has only one word to say love. But Sanskrit has many words depending upon the intimacy of the relationship. Here the word has used pranaya. Pranaya means when someone's mind gets totally engrossed in the thoughts of his lover. And he is able to see his lover everywhere he looks at. That is called pranaya. So, one should visit the holy places with the person whose heart is full with the love for their Lordship. Otherwise, nowadays, if you go to Vrindavan, with this eyes, what you can see? Gutters are overflowing with the drain water. That drain water is just coming on the roads. Pigs are moving here and there. Everywhere there is dirt is scattered. That's what you can see. But if you go with the devotee who has such a love for the Lord, then he will reveal you that dham. Because Bhagavat Vidhi, or the process of Bhagavat Parampara, is to see through ears, not through eyes. And that's what Brahmaji has said in the beginning of creation. He says that Shruta Ekshana Pantaha. What path that we follow, that is Shruta Ekshana. Shruta means ear and Ekshana means see, to see. You can see through ears. So the pure devotee has a capacity to reveal dham in front of you. So when you hear him, you will see the dham. And that's why he says that Sesavasthana Heriboami Pranayi Bhakata Sangha. Then what is the next thing that devotee will start practicing and will he desire for? He says, Mridanga Bhadya Shunite Manam Avasara Sarayache Gaura Vihita Kitana Shuri Anande Udayanache. He says that the mind is begging for what? To hear about their Lordship. to hear about the sound of mridanga, which is played in the kirtan to glorify their Lordship. Avasara sadayache. My mind is desperately looking for that opportunity to hear the wonderful sound of mridanga where it glorifies the wonderful pastimes of Lord Gauranga. So that should be the next aspiration of a practicing devotee. Then further he says, Jugal Murti Dekhiya Moram Paramananda Hoya Prasada Seva Korite Hoya Sakala Prapanchajaya. He says that whenever I come in front of the Lordship, Jugala Murti, because Lord is not different from his beautiful Archa Vigraha form. He is there right here. He is standing in front of you. He says that the practicing devotee, when he goes in front of the deities, his heart is full of joy. Does that happen with you when you come in the temple hall and see their Lordship? It happens? Oh, really? Good. So you are devotee then. So devotee's heart is always becomes joyful whenever he sees their Lordship. And he always tries to find the opportunity for that, to come and see their Lordship. And then further, after seeing their Lordship, one should have his prasad. That's what he says. Prasada seva korite hoya sakala prapancha jaya. Do you desire to get rid of this material world? Still thinking? Huh?
Yes.
Still thinking, or you want to get rid of this material world?
Not thinking, yes.
Yes. If you desire so, then what you should do? Take prasad. Simple way. Prasad means what? It's mercy. Take the mercy of the Lordship, then you will be immediately sold out or crossed. You will cross this ocean of material existence. Sakala prapancha jaya. You can conquer this material world just by taking prasad. Don't consider it as a food. It is prasad. हिंदी में प्रसाद यानी प्रभु के साक्षात दर्शन. प्रसाद लेना यानी प्रभु के साक्षात दर्शन करना, है ना? अरे हलवा पूरी समझते हो प्रसाद समझते हो? अच्छा. Then next he says, see, most of us are grihasthas. We are not like the Goswamis who can stay under the shrubs and bushes and trees and do our bhajans. All we are grihasthas with our own family. So Bhaktivinoda Thakur says, Jedi na ghare bhajan ki gruhete goloka bhaya charan siddho dekhiya ganga sukha nasima paya. He says, Golok Vrindavan appears in my home whenever I see the worship and service of the Lord Hari going on there. Upon seeing the Ganga, which is river of nectar emanating from the lotus feet of the Lord, my happiness knows no bound. Bhaktivinoda Thakur, he was staying on the banks of Ganga. So it was very easy for him to see every day Mother Ganga, which emanates from the lotus feet of the Lordship. So he says, there is no bound to my joy whenever I see Mother Ganga. And second thing, he says that whenever I see Kirtan is going on in my house, Lord is worshipped, He is honored, He is offered food. Whenever I see that, then gharate gruhete goloka bhai. It seems like that my house has become Golok Vrindavan. Because this is what happens in Golok Vrindavan. Everything is oriented towards the Lord's pleasure. They cook for the Lord. They dress themselves for the Lord. They take bath for the Lord. Everything is for the Lord. When that happens, then your house itself becomes Golok Vrindavan. See how easy it is. It's so easy, or it's so simple or so sublime, but difficult to practice. Why? Because we carry so much anarthas from millions of lifetimes in our heart. Ishwaroham vaham bhoge siddhoham balavan sukhi. Krishna is the master of the whole world, but I am the master of my family. That sinks our boat. It's very difficult to give away that mama, the tendency of possessing something, And Lord clearly says in the 3rd chapter, 30th verse of Bhagavad Gita, the person can become Adhyatma Chetasa only when he has two things with him. Nirashir, Nirmama. Says that the person who has Krishna consciousness or Adhyatma Chetasa, he has these two qualities. Nirashir, he does not have any desire other than serving Krishna. And Nirmama, there is no sense of ownership. Otherwise, me, my, mine, we want to possess everything. And that itself sinks us down in this material. And when you see, when you consider, these kids are not mine, but they are given me or entrusted me by the Lord. So that's my responsibility, because that Lord has thought that I am responsible, so He has given me this responsibility. So I have to be worthy for that. I should not break or breach the trust of Lord. If you have that consciousness, then what happens? Garete Goloka Bhai. Otherwise, as Bhagavad says, Gruhamedi's house is nothing but snake hole. So, do you want to make your house as a snake hole, or you want to make it as Golok Vrindavan? Samarth? What do you want to make your house? Golok Vrindavan, see? Our 10 years old boy is saying he wants to make his house Golok Vrindavan. That's what needed, And if you train your kids in childhood, definitely they are going to practice it throughout life. And then further Bhaktivinoda Thakur says, Tulasi dekhi churaya prana madhava koshani prani gaura priya shaka sevane jivan sarthak mani. So whenever you see Tulasi Maharani, what you should think about? She is the one who gives pleasure to their Lordship. Madhava Toshani Jani. You should know her that she is the one who satisfies Madhava. Krishna Priya, she is the dearest or dearmost to their Lordship. The sight of holy Tulsi tree soothes my soul, for I know she gives pleasure to Lord Krishna. And then further he says, by honoring shak, a green leafy vegetables preparation, a dear favorite of Lord Chaitanya, I consider life worthwhile. That means honoring Prashadam is the worthwhile in your life. Because all we are on Annamaya Kosha. There are 5 koshas. Do you know about that? The living entity is covered with 5 coverings. First is Annamaya. And all we are on Annamaya Kosha only. If you don't get food, you get freaked out. That happens? No? You are hungry and mama doesn't give you anything. What happens? Mad, you get mad at her. Eh? So because we are on Annamaya Kosha. Then there is second one, that is Pranamaya. Someone may survive for 21 days without eating or drinking. But can they survive for a minute without breathing? Can't. Third one is Manomaya. Someone may survive without breathing for months. And there are some yogis in Himalayas, they are practicing that. But all these are done to control mind. So when you reach the Manomaya covering, then what happens? You can look at the person and you will come to know what's going on in his mind. And if you get stuck with that, checking out with the other minds, it becomes difficult for you to concentrate mind on the Lord. And someone really goes above that also, then he is on Jnanamaya Kosha, where he accepts Vasudevam Sarvamiti, everything is Vasudev. So he gets vision of their Lordship everywhere. He can visualize their Lordship everywhere. So he does not have any envy or attachment to anyone, you know. He is like Samadrashi. And someone goes above that, then that is Anandamaya Kosha. Why you are shaking? Mind is not settled, wandering here and there. So Anandamaya, where that person is in bliss, then he doesn't care about food. He doesn't care about what others says about him, whether they honor him, they respect him, they disrespect him. He never cared about that. Why? Because he's in bliss. He has reached that position where there is no sorrow, nothing. So these 5 coverings are there. So let first purify the first covering of Anna, because Anna creates your mana, that creates your mind. Generally people, they ask how it can affect our mind. Because Anna has 2 gross and subtle ingredients. The gross ingredients, the subtle body, this gross body that sucks it out from the Anna. And there is a subtle substance that get extracted by the mind. And that is sanskara, the culture. When someone is cooking, with what emotion, what thoughts he's cooking, that thoughts get transferred into that food. That's why it's said that, see, as long as people used to eat at their own house, there were no disease. They were happy. They used to live together. Nowadays, even though both are working, earning quite good money, but they order food from outside. What they are eating then? The outside person, what is his consciousness to cook that food? Why is cooking that food? Only one perspective or only one aim that he has. Money. So he want to squeeze out money from you. So when you eat that Anna, what your mind is going to get? You will just think about just to squeeze out money. You will not think about anyone's love. Because he has not prepared that with the love. As mother or wife, she can do it with love. So that loves get transferred, and with love they can stay together. Why we ask the practitioner devotee that they should offer food to their Lordship? Because the person who is cooking it, he has thoughts in mind that he wanted to please their Lordship. So he is doing whatever capacity of love that he has. With that love, he is cooking it for the Lord. So Lord takes that and he gives back, that mercy. So when you eat food offered to their Lordship, it's not only food, but it's mercy of their Lordship. You are honoring their Lordship itself. If you're sustaining on that food, then your consciousness will be totally different. You can try out this. For 6 months, just stop eating any nonsense thing from outside. Just eat whatever has cooked at home. And if you cook it for yourself, you will see the change in your consciousness. That makes a lot of difference. I have seen one of my Guruji who taught me astrology. He is around 72 now. He never had a single grain from outside throughout his life. He used to go for like 10 days, 15 days tours for giving seminars and consultancies. He always used to carry his own food. Even he never drank water from someone else's hand. Because pani makes your vani. Your speech get affected that what sort of a water you drink or from whose hand you drink the water. And anna, that creates your mind. So he never did that. And that's why even today, whenever he speaks, if he predicts about someone something, that has to happen. Because that much purity that he has, he carries with him. It's not like that, sab chalta hai, khalo. No. You should eat that one which is offered to their Lordship only. And then you will see the change. Otherwise, like preparing nice kheer and putting a handful of sand into that. That's what we do. We fast on Ekadashi and eat chips brought from the market, What's the use then? You buy something nonsense from the market and eat that. And we say that we are doing sadhana. Is that going to help you? Cleaning the space and with the right hand, sweeping it, and left hand, putting dust again. So that's what we do. Then further he says, Bhakati Vinada Krishna Bhajane Anakula Paya Java Pradiri Vase Paramasuke Svikara Poro So in conclusion, Bhaktivinoda Thakur says, whatever that is conducive for the service of Sri Krishna, he accepts every day with the greatest of joy. Anukulasya sankalpa pratikulasya varjanam. That's the sutra that in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, Sri Rupa Goswami Pada has given. And with very lucid way, Bhaktivinoda Thakur has explained that same principle in this particular song, where the aspiring devotee is desiring for what? So what he is desiring for? First, what? What he is desiring for? A practitioner devotee, what he should desire for? That is there, Baba, but what is that Krishna consciousness? How do you want to practice it in your life? First thing, what we discussed. Shuddha Bhakata Charana Renu means. Should I repeat the whole thing again? You were here? No. You were here when we were discussing this? The first and foremost thing that Bhaktivinoda Thakur says that the dust of the lotus feet of Vaishnava and service to Vaishnava. If you really want to practice devotional service, then start with this first principle. Take a dust from the lotus feet of great Vaishnavas, and serve them. Okay? Second thing, he says that I will follow Madhavatiti. So what is this Madhavatiti means? Madhav? What is Madhavatiti? Just we discussed about. I think my English is not that good. I can't explain properly. What is Ekadashi? No, I'm asking about Madhav Titi. Madhav Titi is Ekadashi. You said Radhashtami. Remember?
Those are like Radha Janmashtami second part.
Madhav Titi means the Tithi which reminds you about Madhava. When you can remember their Lordship very easily. So you can remember their Lordship on Ekadashi, on Janmashtami, on Radhashtami, on Varaha Dwadashi, Vamana Dwadashi, Nityanand Trivadashi. So those are Madhav Tithis. Got it? So Jatane Palana Kori. We should try hard to follow all these vratas. Because those are the Bhakati Janani. The next one,
Prasad.
Turing. Doing Tirtha Yatra, visiting the holy places where Lord Gauranga has already visited. Because those are the places where spontaneously you can remember their Lordship. Make sense? यार ध्यान में रखो यार, बोल दे अभी आधा घंटा में बोला कुछ भी तुम लोग मंडी हिला रहे से हैं? मुझे लगा सब सुन रहे, अभी भूल जाओगे तो बाद में क्या याद रखोगे इन चीजों को? अभी याद रहेगा? हाँ? थर्ड थिंग, फोर्थ थिंग इन्होंने क्या बोली? व्हाट्स द फोर्थ थिंग? मृदंग वाद्य. Wherever there is a kirtan and singing the glories of the Lordship, my mind should beg to get that opportunity. Means the practicing devotee, he is desperate to hear about the glories of their Lordship. He is desperate to hear about, to chant about the glory of the Lord. And the next one, Jugala Murti Rekhiya Mora, to see their Lordship in temple. And your heart should be morose to see them. Huh? Yes? Or joyful to see them. You should feel sad to see them, or you should feel joyful to see them. Huh? You should be joyful to see them. And then comes, what's the next? Halwa Puri. Then comes Prasada Seva. Sakala Prapancha Jana. If you want to conquer this material world, then you should take Prasad. And then he says, it's not only in the temple you should be joyful, you should be joyful at home also. With the same joy you should do Kirtan at home. Jedina ghare bhajan deki ghare de bolo to bhar. Make your house as Vrindavan. Someone asked Prabhupada, why don't you do something? Because there are people, they are destructing temples. They said, no worries, we'll create temple in each and every house. How many temples they can destroy them? There may be one big temple in the city, but if you make each house a temple, then there will be thousands of temples in the city here. And how many temples you can destroy? And how you can make your house as a temple? What do you have to do? How you will make prasad at home? You need to offer it to Lord. Huh? So first thing, which will be the first thing? The first thing will be bring their lordship at home. Then do everything for their pleasure. That's bhajan. And then worship Tulsi. Because she is the one who is Madhava Toshani. She is the one who satisfies their lordship. You may cook and offer it to Lord, but if you don't put Tulsi on that, Lord never accepts that. So if you want that Lord should honor this bhoga, then you should have to have a Tulsi at home so that you can offer her to their Lordship. And Lord takes that one then. So if you consider Tulasi Maharani as a Jivanadani, who gives you life, who gives you devotion. And the last one, he says, whatever is favorable, which pleases their Lordship, I will accept it and practice it every day in my life. That gives real joy. So this kind of a prayers, they are called as Sadhaka Deha Lalasa Suchika. That's what the devotee aspires to get the body of practicing devotee. Okay? Should I repeat it again or enough for today? Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur ki, Srila Prabhupada ki. Thank you.